Suppose you aren't happy with your neighborhood grocery store down the street. Prices are too high, the food isn't fresh, and the service is mediocre. What do you do? If you are like most people, you'd probably just shop somewhere else. After all, there's lots of other grocery stores to choose from, and it doesn't make sense to shop at a store that doesn't satisfy its customers. Besides, maybe the store owners will get their act together when they realize that they're losing business. But there's just one further twist to the story. Suppose the government told you that you weren't allowed to shop anywhere else, but had to shop at your neighborhood grocery store. When you ask for the reason, you were told that it's for the good of the community. After all, a government bureaucrat points out, if too many people abandon their neighborhood grocery store, it will be even harder for that store to survive, and shopping conditions for its remaining customers would get even worse. So now you're faced with some unpleasant options. You could just suck it up and hope the grocery store gets better, even though it has no reason to improve. You could move to a neighborhood with a better grocery store, or you could shop at a convenience store not covered by the rule, but pay higher prices as a result. As you've probably noticed, options 2 and 3 are only available to you if you have extra money at your disposal. If you don't have money, you're stuck with option 1. Too bad for you. I doubt many of us would tolerate that type of situation for very long. After all, what right does the government have to limit our food choices? Well, there's another fundamental right where that scenario plays out every day, and that's our right to an education. You see, we have a one-size-fits-all education system. The neighborhood you live in determines the school your kids attend. It doesn't matter whether that school is doing great or going downhill. Unless you've got the money to move to a nicer neighborhood or send your kids to a private school, you're stuck with the school you've got. Those without money are left to hope that their school gets better, even though it has little reason to do so. So how do we get out of this situation? Simple. Let parents have more choice in the schools their kids attend. Choice has the power to revolutionize public education. We even have an example of how this can work right here in Canada. Almost 3 decades ago, the Edmonton Public School Board embarked on a revolutionary set of changes when they made choice the foundation of their approach to education. In that city, parents can send their kids to any school they want, and there sure is a lot to choose from. Some of the choices available include schools that focus on Aboriginal education, sports, science, Christian education, and performing arts. Parents also have the option of sending their children to regular neighborhood schools. While many cities saw an exodus of students from their public schools, Edmonton experienced the reverse. Because of the many choices available to parents within the public system, there is little need for private schools. In fact, some private schools willingly joined the public system because of the flexibility provided by the school board. Another key aspect of the Edmonton model is how principals are given control over their own budgets. This allows them to create the most effective environment possible. More than 90 cents of every dollar raised by the Edmonton board is controlled at the local level by individual principals. This flexibility gives principals the authority they need to manage their schools effectively. However, local school autonomy needs to be combined with accountability. Edmonton principals are held accountable for their results. Students write regular standardized tests in the core academic subjects, with each school's results made available to the public. As a result, this data becomes part of what parents take into account when deciding where to enroll their children. As we can see, there is no need to remain stuck in the past when it comes to how school boards are set up. We should move beyond our one-size-fits-all model of public education. Choice is a key part of school reform. Edmonton has shown us how it can be done. Imagine how difficult life would be if you never learned to read. So many career paths would be permanently closed off. You would even have trouble doing basic things such as ordering a meal in a restaurant or staying up to date on current events. In this day and age, everyone needs to learn how to read. Have you ever heard this saying? A teacher should be a guide on the side rather than a sage on the stage. If you've attended a faculty of education, you've probably heard it many times. But what does it mean? Basically, it says that teachers should spend less time in front of the classroom talking and more time on the side letting students figure out things for themselves.